Hello. It is the end of Tuesday, the third week of class. Today is the beginning of winter rush for a professional fraternity that I'm trying to get into. I think it's a pretty intense week, so I probably won't be vlogging much, but I thought it'd be interesting to document how I felt after each rush event. And we'll see whether or not I get in. But today was the info session. It was mostly just presenting information about the frat, but this is my second time rushing this frat, so I kind of already knew. And I was going to leave right after the info session. They usually have an optional social, but I was still feeling pretty anxious, so I wanted to go home. But it was kind of funny. Some brothers, like as I was walking to the door, there were other people walking to the door as well. The brothers stopped us and they're like, "Why are you guys leaving? You should talk to us." So I ended up staying for I'm actually not sure how long. Talked to some brothers, some familiar faces, and I think it was helpful in reducing some of my anxiety, but I also still wanted to go home. So I did leave while there was still a good amount of people there. Now I'm home, I've showered, eaten. I'm about to eat this orange. So I hope this will be an interesting half vlog of Rush. I hope I get in. I hope even if I don't get in that I can learn something and gain something from this process as I did last time. So thanks for coming along with me on this Rush week. Hello, today is Wednesday of the third week of class. The professional interviews for Rush are tonight at 7, but I have a genetics exam tomorrow, so I need to grind out. It's currently around 3:30. I need to grind out some studying because I haven't really been able to touch my notes for a couple of days. So I'm gonna grind and then eat dinner, get ready, and go to the interviews. Hello. It is later in the day on Wednesday. It's about 6:20. Professional interviews are at 7. And I'm all dressed. I'm gonna leave maybe in 10 minutes. Just wanted to pop in and talk about my thoughts before the interviews, how I'm feeling. Yeah. So I guess I'll just start. I think professional interviews are maybe the scariest or the most intimidating part of the process for me, because part of why I want to join the professional frat, is to gain more experience, because I feel like I don't have as much experience as I want, or maybe as my peers do, or as my peers have. And I'm not sure really what it is they're judging, if they're judging your experience or if it's judging your commitment to things or stuff like that. But the other thing I struggled with last time is it starts to feel a bit competitive, because you're rotating with the same group through the interviews and you hear all of their answers and you start to get to know them, which is something that's nice about the process. But you also maybe start to develop some concept in your head of this person deserves to get in more than I do, which can honestly just be a real downer, because I don't know that. I don't know that for sure. But thinking that can affect when I talk or what I say, or just my overall demeanor, which the brothers will pick up on and they won't understand why, and it can lead just to not having the impression of who I really am. So I'm hoping that today I can try to enjoy the process more, try to be more myself, try not to judge myself and to compare myself to others, to think of it as practice, and to try to trust the process that the brothers use to decide who is the best fit for their fraternity. So I will update after the interviews, which will end at 9 because the interviews are about 2 hours long, and we will see how everything goes. Wish me luck. Okay, I'm back from professional interviews. I think my overall feeling after that is just generally that I don't think it went as well as I hoped it would. I feel like even though I'd been through it and I knew what to expect, I was still very nervous. Although I tried, and I feel like I did for the most part get past the feeling or the idea that they were looking for a certain kind of person. With their questions, I felt, or I imposed this expectation of like what kind of answer they were looking for. And I feel like some of my answers, not every answer can be interesting, and that's normal, but I couldn't gauge what kind of response I was getting to my answers, and I couldn't mend my answers, like even for later questions with later people, so that they would be more indicative of what they were looking for. I also did still get kind of stuck in that comparison mindset with other people in my group. They were all nice, but getting in my head about how much more confident they appeared, or how much more interesting their stories were, or just how much more natural I felt like they were when they were talking, when they were telling their stories, their responses, whatever. And honestly, I'm pretty demotivated after today. Well, a part of me wants to stop rushing. I'm only really halfway. There's still speed dating tomorrow, which is 2 hours, and then a game night. Like, I won't drop, but there's a part of me, if I keep going, I'll only get more emotionally attached. You know, like, they ask us multiple questions. Why do you want to join our frat? What are you excited about? Stuff like that. Just feeling the emotional attachment develop is not fun, knowing how it ended last time when I got attached to the idea of being in the frat. But I will definitely regret dropping much more than rushing and not getting a bid. So I think that's kind of it for what I wanted to talk about right now, right after the interviews. I'll probably check in tomorrow before speed dating. Hopefully a good night of rest. I have an exam tomorrow, so hopefully once that's over, I'll feel a little bit more at peace. Hopefully I want to enjoy speed dating. It's a fun activity. Definitely lower stakes feeling than the professional interviews. But yeah, I will check in at a later time. Good night. Okay, it's been a minute since I checked in. It is now the night of Thursday of the third week of class. Today was a lot. I didn't check in before speed dating, which was at 6. I had my genetics exam at 1, which was fine. And then I decided to go grocery shopping. And cute, funny little thing. Once I got to the grocery store, I realized like, oh, like I don't have my phone. And I asked my friend to check, and it said my phone was at home 40 minutes ago. Which is unusual, you know, if I left it at home, it would still show up active on Find My. Anyway, I'm like, oh, I probably just forgot it on my shoe rack when I was putting on my shoes before I left. No big deal. Do my little grocery shopping. I'm gone for probably like an hour. So my parking lot's across the street. I forgot if I already said that. And I'm bringing my groceries back. We're bringing our groceries back. And I noticed something quite pink in the middle of the road. And one second. This is my phone case. It's a little more pink than this because, yes, it's a foot, because I had 2 of these. This is my old dirty one, and then I just put on a new one that I got a while ago, but then I stopped using, but I put it back on, so it was like kind of new. Saw something very pink in the street, like on the floor. And then I see a little, like, what looks like a piece of paper right next to it. Come to find out, it's my phone and the screen protector that ripped off, and it is absolutely crushed. As in, it got run over by cars for an hour in the middle of the street. I am gonna show you the condition it's in right now. Obviously, my heart dropped. Like, I wanted to cry, I wanted to throw up. Okay, you ready? Here she is. I don't know how well the camera's picking up the detail, but those, yeah, it's like inset because it like got crushed in. I guess the frame is pretty solid. The frame has not any cracking. The cameras are totally fine, but yeah, she doesn't turn on, unsurprisingly. This side is even worse. This is with the screen protector already ripped off. Like, this is like, oh, like homegirl got run over. It pains me to look at this. It's so bad. I mean, I guess the cameras are strong enough to survive cars, but the phone is not. So this is past any kind of like turn-in policy where they take your old damaged phone and they give you a brand spanking new one, like for free or like a major discount. So after calling T-Mobile, calling my mom, I realized like I just need to get it, like to buy a new phone. But I also had speed dating at 6. This happened, I found my phone around 4 p.m. So the clock was ticking. All right, so I literally like run to the Apple store. I get my friend because I can't even get directions to the Apple store. And I get a new phone. Let me find it. And here she is. It's the exact same model. I haven't put a screen protector on yet. But yes, I am very, very fortunate to be able to afford another phone, like a replacement, instead of like an iPhone 12 or something. I used money that I always have saved in case of emergencies like this one. So I managed to get it and actually make it to speed dating. I didn't have time to set up like my cell service before that, but I was just like, I just need the phone. I'll deal with everything later. I used iCloud backup, so everything was all set. And then I go to speed dating. So now let's actually talk about the speed dating. So the speed dating is more casual. You don't have to dress business casual, and just the questions they're asking are more casual. Although I will say the professional interviews the questions were more casual than they were last semester. Last semester it was like, what are things you're involved in on campus, stuff like that. But the kinds of questions we get today are like, what are your red flags? What are your hear me outs? A really popular one is they ask us to try to guess who their ex is, and they give us like 4 pictures. Anyway, I think because of all the phone stuff, I was already so pumped up on like anxiety hormones that I was out by the time I got to the speed dating. So I feel like it actually didn't take me long, if any time at all, to ease into answering the questions. This time I sat with a big group of girls, which I really liked because last time I was with a bunch of guys and I felt it was just a little harder to bounce off of them. But they were all really nice, and we went around. It's the same format as professional interviews. It's just the questions are different. There was one table that asked us to stand up, go to the president of the frat, and say, I'm not even gonna say it. I won't say it was humiliating. Anyway, I honestly had a lot more fun today than professional interviews. I feel like there were multiple components of that, but I'm just glad to have been able to do something fun after my exam. I was hoping today would be a little bit more relaxing, you know, maybe practice some guitar But I am so exhausted and burnt out from all of the anxiety hormones like that pumped through my body today. So I'm honestly probably gonna go to bed. Although I will note I cannot download TikTok. I have not been using TikTok since it got banned, but now that it's not on the Apple Store, I don't even have the option to have it on my phone. I don't know if that means I lose all my drafts. I did save some of my TikToks already before the ban, but that's just like an unfortunate side effect. Anyway, speed dating was fun. We have our last rush event tomorrow, which is game night, also from 6 to 8. I think today definitely helped reel me back from how demotivated I was feeling yesterday. I'm probably gonna go to bed soon. Just wanted to share the events of today. But yeah, hopefully I will be able to check in before game night tomorrow. Bye bye. All right. It is the last day of rush week. Today is Friday of the third week of class, and I'm finishing my hair anyway. Just wanted to share some final thoughts. I'll share my real final thoughts after the event today, but today's game night. Honestly, I'm feeling anxious again. I'm not sure why. I do really think that the whole phone situation yesterday kind of ran me out of my anxiety chemicals, but they're back now because today's been mostly chill. I went on a run, which was nice. Going on a run and taking a shower makes me feel like I'm better than everyone else. Yeah, game night, it's around like 5:20 right now, so I have some time before I need to leave. I hope that I can just have fun. I think game night is tricky because I don't know if I should be like trying to build friendships that will last whether or not I get in, or if I'm trying to impress or be remembered, or if like I'm just there to bond. So I guess we'll have to see how it goes. It's indoors. The game night last semester was outdoors because it was still warm back then. Honestly, I might prefer indoors because I'm not a huge sports person, and most of the games were sports. Like, I think they had volleyball, spike ball. I think they're playing with soccer balls too. Anyway, I'm kind of yapping because I have time and I'm a little anxious again. But yeah, I will probably save like my overall thoughts for after tonight. Okay, I think that's it for me for right now. Bye-bye. Alright, I am back from the last rush event of Winter 25. So, time for a breakdown of all my thoughts immediately post-rush. Today was fun. Obviously, it was much more casual. I started out at a table, it was very full. I would say it was about like half brothers, half rushies, which was nice. We played this game called Catchphrase. I don't think the games really matter. We played Catchphrase, I played a game called like Poetry something, and then Cards Against Humanity. I'm gonna talk more about like just like the emotions and thoughts that I'm left with, kind of dramatic, but I think it was a fun night. I think for me, I have this sense of like not really knowing if I'm trying to impress or like just be remembered, or if I'm just there to have fun and like make connections, like both with brothers and with other rushies. I think there's a couple other rushies that like were in one of my groups for one of the days, and so we're more comfortable, we know more about each other, which is really nice. I think I wanted to, and I spent more, my actions are more of me just wanting to have fun. If I were trying to impress and be remembered, I probably would have moved around more, would have tried to be more outspoken, just so people hear my voice more, look at my face more. But overall, I just don't want to have regrets about how I went about this rush. At least no like major regrets. And I think that for the most part that I'll be able to come away with no regrets. If anything, the most regrets I might have is from today, about whether or not I should have been more proactive about talking to more brothers and getting FaceTime with them, or maybe brothers that I haven't seen before or feel like I didn't make a great connection with. Because a lot of the brothers that I was with today are the ones I'm more familiar with. Like, it kind of just happened that way. I'm not really sure what they wanted from us for today. It might have been nothing. It might have been something that I didn't give. And of course they take in like multiple days into account. They take in our application. I think in a couple of days they're going to send out an email asking us like specific details pertaining to whether or not we'll get a bid is what they call it. So yeah, I think right now I'm feeling a little bit of like, maybe not even regret, but just like anxiety, which I guess is normal. There's not really anything I do about it. I can't like slide into their DMs and be like, hey, like, it's Melissa, like, remember me please. I'm not even 100% sure how they decide who actually gets in. I thought I knew, but I'm not totally sure. So we will see. I think more than anything, I want to have had fun with the process, to gain skills about interviews and quick thinking, and also learning to be myself and be okay with being myself, and understanding that when I'm myself, like, the right people will want me around, and if they don't end up wanting me around, like, it probably just wasn't right for me. Which, like, would probably suck a little bit. I would probably cry a little bit. And then I'd move on. You know, like, after this, like, I wouldn't consider rushing again. I'd be a senior. And I think I'm okay with that. There are lots of really nice people who are not in that frat. There are lots of really nice people who are in the frat, don't get me wrong. But life will go on, and I'll probably focus on the friendships that I do have, maybe making friends through some other means. And it's not like I can never talk to people who are in the frat if I don't get in. But I think where I'm at right now is just, you know, I would really love to get a bid to be able to pledge for this semester and be a brother for the next two. But I think if I don't get a bid, it will probably take a little more time to reconcile, like, in my head, like, that it doesn't mean that I'm not a good person or that I'm not, like, worthy of, like, someone wanting to be my friend. I'll have to buckle down with cold emails, advising appointments to sort out what I want to do post-grad. But I guess it's not life or death, so I'll get through it either way, whatever happens. Yeah, I think that's probably all for now. Maybe I'll check in again at some point. I'm probably gonna wait to post this until I get the results. Part of me, if I don't get a bid, doesn't want to post all of these clips, but I didn't film a vlog for this week to kind of force myself to film no matter what results I get. And I guess, yeah, that's kind of it. We'll have to see. I'll update you when I get updates, I guess. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. Bye-bye. Okay, oops. Time for an update. They just came to my apartment, and this is my bid, is what they call it. Which means I got in, and that the whole rush process was worth it, and rushing a second time was the right choice. I feel like there's a lot of emotions, but I thought I would show it and open it on camera. There's like a cute little wax seal. I don't know how well you can see it, but okay. Whoa. This is what the other side looks like. Yay. Okay, I do just want to close out this video. There's a lot I want to say. At the beginning of this rush process, I was definitely a little hesitant, a little anxious. I've been anxious the whole week, but I'm really excited to experience this semester as a pledge, and to be a part of the community at, I never said the frat just in case like I didn't get in and I didn't want to like, you know, but it's Alpha Chi Sigma, which is the professional chemistry fraternity at UMich. To be part of the community and to grow, so, like personally and academically. I'm glad I'll have all this footage to look back on in the future, and I'm just grateful to have shared all of my experiences in this process with you.